This makes you want to click away. And this is way better. So let's talk about this. If you want people to take your content more serious, you're gonna need to show some more quality. Don't worry, this is easy and can be done on a budget. Here are 3 things to look at if you're trying to improve your talking heads. Number 1, audio. Everyone has an iPhone, so they're super practical, and honestly, the audio is really not that bad. The only problem is it's a little unprofessional because you're kind of holding an iPhone right here in the frame, and it's kind of ruining the aesthetic. For okay sound quality, and if you need to start making content, you can definitely use the iPhone. It's really not bad. What you're listening to right now is a lavalier mic. So these things are pretty easy to set up, and you really can't beat the sound quality. The only thing is, they are kind of expensive. They run around $150 to $350. In between. So here is the studio microphone setup, which I'm a fan favorite of this. It's just harder to kind of get it where you need to because they're kind of stationary. If you don't have the proper tools or the proper stands, you just can't get them in your face, and you need them pretty close for them to sound like, to get the good quality, you know. The way these microphones work is it does like a little bit of this. It like captures this bubble right here. So you kind of have to get your face in that bubble to get that quality. Number 2, lights. This is a 1 light setup. Luckily for me, this setup works because I have a window over here to my left, and it is lighting up the background for me, but that's all natural light. I have no control over that, or I didn't put any control over that. And then I just have my key light lighting my face. And if you ask me, this really doesn't look bad. This still looks pretty good. Super simple, super easy, can't go wrong. Let's go to a 2 light setup, which can be 2 different variations. We're gonna have the one where it's a key light and a backlight. You can see a little bit of a halo effect, which me personally, I'm not against them. Some people don't like them. You could probably get away. I could probably get rid of that by, like, watch, I'll raise it and I believe that gets rid of the halo. So if I raise it a little bit, kind of looks like it's just the sunlight. It's still kind of giving me a little bit of a halo haze, but I think it looks good. Gives you a nice little, gets you away from the background. You know, hair lights, they look legit, super easy to do. I got rid of the natural light and I just have my practicals on, my key light, my hair light, and it's a pretty dope image. So let's say you still only have 2 lights. You have to make the decision. Do you want to be separated from the background, or do you want to light your background up? For me, I would probably choose this because I have a pretty convenient practical that lights my background for me. But let's say it's not there and I'm gonna get rid of the hair light, and we'll do that. We're gonna turn off what is my practical, and I'm gonna use my second light to be my practical. And honestly, if this light is strong enough, it also might give me a hair light. Something to think about. So I'm a big fan of the background being lit up. So it's just something to think about. It depends on what mood you're in and what you want to showcase, but not bad. I'm gonna bring back my natural light because I believe we can all work with natural light. We all have windows in our home. And finally, let's say we have 3 lights, which is the most common lighting setup for most videos, commercials, a lot of things. 3-point lighting, super important because it's super effective, looks good, and it really can, you know, make you stick out from the crowd. It really gives you some quality. So this is my go-to talking head lighting setup. I have my key light lighting me, my hair light separating me from the background, and then some type of background light just to give the image a little bit more pleasing to an eye. And number 3, composition. Composition is important. This is where you can get pretty creative with it because it depends on where you're at, on where you need to film the video and what you have to work with. If you're making a talking head where you're talking to the camera, for the most part, you're gonna be centered in the middle of the frame. And then if you want, you can spice it up and do a 2-camera angle. If you have 2 cameras, you know, you might as well use them because it can really spice up the image. For me, I'm now recording on my FX30 as my A cam. My Canon M50 is the B cam. It's a weird mix and it doesn't look great. I try to color grade them as close together as I can, but it's not the best. So I probably won't use it too much yet, but once I get like maybe an FX3 or maybe I get another FX30, I will definitely be using a 2-camera setup because I love movement. It gives the video a little bit more, especially if the video is driven by a lot of talking. If you're doing a lot of talking, you need to keep it moving so that way the audience stays engaged. So you may be asking, why does this all matter? So nowadays, with gear being more affordable and easier to get your hands on, it's becoming more expected of people to see high quality talking heads on your content, which leads to my next point, and it's branding. Branding is very important to anything in business. Everybody's a brand, we're all a brand, I'm a brand, you're gonna be a brand, that couch over there is a brand, and having good, high quality level talking heads is part of your brand. It also allows you to express your brand through your creative decisions because you can do a lot of cool things with talking heads. There's different lighting setups, there's different audio choices, there's different composition. You can do all these different things, but once you find your style, you know branding. You know this is a branding. Other than that, I like you guys. Have a great rest of your time browsing this platform. Peace.